Now, I know there are a lot of people out there that feel like they are behind financially. They look at their friends buying new houses, new cars. Their friends' investments are going crazy in the stock market. People are retiring early. And you can't help but feel, what are you doing? Where is the progress that you should be making financially? And should you be a lot further along? Hey guys, it's Aman
and Christina
from Our Rich Journey. What if I told you that you were doing a lot better than you thought financially? That in fact, you were making amazing progress towards your financial goals. I mean, I really want to break this down because when you look at the numbers and you look at the things that you are currently doing, you are well on your way. And so that's what we want to talk about in this video. We want to talk about how you are actually doing great financially.
So in today's video, we are going to focus on why it may feel like you're behind, why you're actually probably further ahead than you think, and how you can continue to move forward. So first, let's talk about the biggest reason people feel left behind financially, and that is rising costs. So you've got rent, healthcare, housing. In the US alone, the average rent has gone up more than 25% in the last 5 years.
I mean, it feels like housing prices have just gone out of control. 25%, that's huge. But it's not just housing, it's food, it's healthcare. I mean, let's look at groceries, for example. Groceries has jumped nearly 10% in the last year. And I know when you go into the grocery store, it feels like a lot more. So even if you're earning more, it feels like your money isn't going as far.
Another reason is comparison. If you look on social media, you see the new cars, the new homes, the retirement life, the luxury life. But what you don't realize is that on social media, you are just getting the highlight reels.
Oh yes, social media is definitely the highlight reels. It's not the full story of what is going on in someone's life that got them to that level of early retirement, to buying a new house, to all of these wonderful financial milestones that they're sharing online. There's a lot more to it. In fact, some of that stuff may be lies in the first place, but what you see, it affects how you feel about yourself financially. The other thing is the pressure to hit arbitrary benchmarks. You will always see an article about how much money you should have at the age of 30, at the age of 40. Should you own a house by now? There are so many things that say you need to be at a certain place financially. You'll even see articles saying that by the age of 30, you should have 6 figures saved. Now, all of this is not based on reality because the reality is, and according to the Federal Reserve, the median savings for Americans under the age of 35 is just $3,200. It's not 6 figures.
So we mentioned all these things to explain why you may be feeling more behind than you actually are, but let's turn this into a positive because we think that you are probably actually further along than you think you are, and there are 5 reasons for this. They may not all apply to you, but we know that one definitely applies specifically to you, and that is you are educating yourself.
That's right. If you are watching this video right now, you are making progress with your financial education. And that, my friend, is key to making financial progress. All of these YouTube videos, these podcasts, books that you are reading to improve your financial situation, that, my friend, is progress. And something that they will never talk about when they're talking about all these reasons why you should be feeling behind financially. Education is the key to this movement forward.
The next reason why you might be more ahead is if you have a budget. Now, if you have a budget, that means you are ahead of more than 60% of people who do not track their expenses. If you don't have a budget, this is a great opportunity to begin right now. That can give you a sense of understanding where your expenses are, how much you're spending, and it will allow you to get further ahead.
I mean, just having a budget means that you are moving ahead of 60% of other people. That's progress right there. The next thing is you are talking about money. The majority of people do not talk openly about money. And the fact that you do this means that you're having honest conversations with yourself, with your partner, with your family, and your friends. And you're breaking the taboo of not talking about money.
Next is that you are learning from past mistakes. We all make financial mistakes. We've all been there. But the important piece that separates people that move forward compared to people that stay stuck is that they learn from their mistakes. If you've spent a lot of money, if you haven't budgeted, if you've invested in the wrong way, these are all opportunities to learn from those mistakes and move forward.
Along those same lines, you are assessing your financial growth. That means you are regularly checking in on your finances and adjusting your goals. And when you adjust your goals, it means you're focused on getting better.
Now, with that in mind, let's dive deeper into the reality of the numbers, explain why rising costs aren't the end all for everyone who's looking to move forward with their finances. And then we're also going to give you some specific steps for how to move forward.
So you just heard all of this negative stuff about why you're behind and some staggering numbers. But let's talk about the reality behind the numbers. So let's put this into perspective with some data. If you feel like you're falling behind, consider this. 50% of Americans say they're behind on retirement savings. 40% of US households have less than $1,000 in an emergency savings fund. So if you started saving even a little, you're ahead of millions of people.
And here's another stat. Only 30% of Americans actively invest in the stock market. So that means if you are investing in the stock market, even a little bit, just maybe $50 a month, that means you're setting yourself up for long-term growth and you're ahead of 70% of Americans.
But let's talk about why rising costs aren't the end of the story. I know rising costs can feel overwhelming. It's discouraging when you're working hard, but your money doesn't go as far. But here's what's important. While you can't control inflation, you can control how you respond. By building habits like budgeting, saving, and investing, you're adapting and staying ahead of the curve.
And remember, inflation impacts everyone. So you are not failing. You are facing the same challenges that everyone else is facing. The key is really focusing on what you can control. So with all that said, we know it can still feel discouraging if you feel like you're still not ahead, or maybe you just want to get even further. So if you are feeling like that, we actually have 3 actionable steps for you to take. And the first one is to just focus on small, achievable goals. So an example of this could be setting a goal of saving $10 a week or paying off a bill. That's a small achievable goal that can really help you feel motivated. And once you accomplish those smaller goals, then you can start building from there.
The next thing you can do is build skills to increase your income. Whether it be going back to school for additional education, getting a certification, or maybe doing some hands-on training by starting your own side hustle. All of these things can help you develop skills to increase your income.
And finally, a really quick and easy thing that you can do is to automate your savings and your investments. That means your savings and investments can work in the background. You don't need to exercise any type of willpower to save or invest or set money aside. It all happens automatically, and that typically allows you to save and invest more each month.
That is automatically getting ahead. I love putting the progress on cruise control. And here's one more thing. Take some time to recognize your wins. If you started an investment account, if you paid off debt, if you've made more money at your job, take some time to pat yourself on the back and celebrate that progress. We don't do enough of that.
And also remember that the truth is that financial success isn't about being perfect. It's about consistently making small steps in the right direction. So if you are doing that, you're already winning. And another thing to keep in mind, the journey is your own. Don't measure your progress against someone else's highlights. Measure it against your own personal goals and where you started.
And so we hope that you are feeling encouraged instead of discouraged. The next time you hear one of those random financial stats that makes you feel like you aren't making the progress you should be, remember that this is your own journey and that where you have come from to where you are at now is significant. And you will use that encouragement, you will use that energy to propel you to greater success. And so we hope this video has given you food for thought. We hope that it has left you ready and roaring to move forward on your financial independence journey. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and join the journey.